Hi everyone, this is IntuitiveEdge. Welcome once again to my channel. Thanks for joining me. So I want to take a look at some things that have been happening in our world. And I just saw that there was a tragic shooting in Colorado Springs. And I want to take a look at this situation and see if we can glean what really happened from the cards. I'll be right back and we'll get started. Okay, so I just heard about this tragic story just on my news feed here, and I wanted to tune in with what I was getting on it. So as I kind of tuned in and asked to see if it can be known, I asked to be shown, what I was initially seeing was a person in a hoodie, like a gray sweatshirt hoodie, and I see them like pacing outside the building, and I believe that there's a gun under the sweatshirt, like kind of being hidden. And I see like back and forth kind of along the side of the building, but not in front of like the doors where he would be seen, kind of out of the way, but like pacing. I'm seeing like a pacing energy. And then I see something like something light up, like not a cigarette. I think it's more like some sort of drug. I see something lit, and I can see like vapors from it, but it's that pacing energy, and I'm getting like a muttering to yourself kind of feeling with it. And the drug use is like it's something altering with the mind, but then the pacing is what I'm seeing initially. And then I see like barging in, like moving on into the building, and I'm looking up at the ceiling, so I'm not sure if there was like a shot fired at the ceiling that kind of gets, it's like, and after that I'm feeling like this just pandemonium happens and people are probably scattering, but I'm seeing this the ceiling, and then like just random, it's just random. I feel like this is random in terms of like victims. I don't think these were targeted in terms of individual, like taking someone out deliberately. It feels like it's just random picking people. And then I'm sensing like it feels like two people, one from this side and one from this side, kind of like together descend, and I see like pushing him to the ground and like pinning him with like holding his hand and pinning him. And the guy on the ground, I'm sensing like him like screaming like he's in pain, because he is. Whoever's got like a knee in the back and pinning the hand with the knee and pinning, and then there's a couple more people that step in to kind of push on this guy and like keep him shoved into the floor. And there's other people like moving to check. There's some people that died on the spot, and so they're like checking to see who's still breathing, kind of pulse kind of thing. Other people are kind of tending to other people that are hurt. It doesn't feel like it takes law enforcement terribly long to get there. It feels pretty quick, within a couple minutes. And I'm not sure what set off the chain of events, but the pacing, this pacing is this energy of just, there was something not right in the mind of this person. Okay, so let's get into the cards. I did pull some cards. I asked some specific questions because these kind of things, whenever these tragedies happen, sometimes there are patterns that we've noticed, and so I wanted to see if there were any type of funny business going on in terms of the person involved. So let's see. So is the story exactly as we were told in the news? I got the 6 of Wands on that, and it's pointing to the next card. Then this is about information that could be coming out regarding the motive. So there could be more information coming out regarding the motive of the person. actually that might be the biggest question, but I think that there's something new going to come out on that. Was anyone else involved in carrying this out? I do have the Tower. Now, it is a major arcana, so there could be some other influences, like a chaotic energy involved. It is something to do with a feeling of desperation or life coming apart. What do we need to know about the alleged person involved in this event? And we have the Page of Wands. This is a messenger telling us there's more that is going to be revealed about this. There's more to be seen. There is something we need to know more about this person. And I think it has to do with the state of mind of the individual before this happened. And I do think drugs were involved at some level, some type of mind-bending substances, or perhaps it could be a combination of mental illness and drug use, but something kind of altered, and it was like a snap and a change, and like we're going from this pacing, muttering to moving in and doing what he did. Okay, it was like a snap, a change, a shift quickly. What do we need to know about the shooter? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, was this alleged shooter a victim of mind control to further a gun control agenda? Because we've seen that a lot with these types of events. And it's really not a secret. It's not really a conspiracy. It's these things happen. And I do get the High Priestess on that. It is a major arcana, so there could be some element of that going on as well. But what I'm feeling about this, an issue with their mental health to begin with, I don't think that's fake. Okay, that's a real thing. This person feels broken to begin with, and whether that person is more susceptible to mind control or mind altering things, I think that's probably what we'll be hearing about, or something we should be looking at. What do we need to know about what took place? I have the Queen of Swords. That's actually really positive on this, because this queen gets to the bottom of things. So getting to the bottom of it, though, is going to require some time and some waiting, because it's pointing right into this card, which is the card of waiting, and waiting for things to pan out, waiting for information. It's kind of like hurry up and wait. And this is on the outcome for the shooter. It's also a card of some indecision or just having to wait. There could be delays. There could be trial delays at coming to a resolution or the truth. But this Queen of Swords does get to the bottom of it. So there will likely be a trial. I'm getting like a 6 or 9 month, that it could be something significant related to this in about 6 or 9 months. Sometimes these things take time to put the case together, to do what you need to do with the courts and all of that. There could be a couple of significant steps about 4 months, 6 months, and 9 months down the road from now. So that's what I get about this. I do feel like this person was down on their luck, and feeling the weight of their life or situation. Not really with it, not totally together, okay? I do think there could have been somebody else maybe toying with this person's mind, but ultimately something snapped within this individual. I do feel like it was a real person. I do sense a real person. I don't think any of that was made up. I know some other notable events, and I won't go into which ones, but the actual person was a fictitious, and so I don't get that here. Just letting you all know that. This is a tragic event, and anyway, hearts and prayers and all of that go out to all of those involved and all of those affected. and hopefully the real story will come to light. But it's always sketchy to trust what comes out in the news until we get a little bit out from the event and get all the real story. Sometimes that takes a little bit of time. So anyway, that's what I see with this. All right, I'm going to let that one go here. There's another story that I want to get to that's also rather heartbreaking, and that is 4 university students at the University of Idaho. Some of you may have heard of that as well. Happened last week. Very tragic. And this kind of has the city of Moscow on edge in Idaho because nobody's been apprehended and nobody knows really where to start in terms of finding whoever did a really heinous act. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this story, there were some students that kind of shared a house. At some point, about 2 or 3 in the morning, somebody came into the house and 4 students were murdered. Now, again, they don't have a suspect. They don't have an idea who did this, at least not right now. So what I want to know is what's going to come of this. Is there any leads? And I'm going to take a deep breath and tune into this. I haven't tried to tune into this yet. It was a very gruesome scene, so hopefully I'll be spared those details. But I am curious to know, at least to get some closure and hopefully get the killer off the streets. So, all right, I'll be right back and we'll get started on that. Okay, so I paused the video for a few minutes and I'll tell you what I was picking up on. First of all, it was really horrific what happened to those students, and I didn't want to get too involved in seeing it because I don't really want to see that. So I had to work at protecting my energy, but also asking if it could be known, if I could at least tap into what happened to some extent. I did get something kind of weird, and I asked what kind of led up to it. So before the whole thing took place. And what I was seeing, I was getting the image of being in a blue car, a small, compact car. And this little blue car is driving up. It's nighttime, it's dark. They're driving up and they come up to a stoplight. And at the stoplight, somebody is crossing the crosswalk. And I get that there was some sort of connection made between the person at the crosswalk and the driver. I don't know if the person in the crosswalk felt like the driver was going to run them over, but there was some sort of connection. And I see that I think it's a male at the crosswalk, and anyway, the light turns green and this car goes. What I was seeing was they went up about another block or 2 and made a right turn. And the person walking had gone to the corner and now was heading up the street the same way as the car was. And it made I get this picture of this person making a mental note of where that car turned off. And then they walked down that street as well. And I do get that they got the license plate, or at least the description of the car in their mind. And so this person walks for a little ways and eventually tries to see if they could figure out where the car went. And so that's what I'm seeing is the connection that was made there. So I sense this car went up a couple blocks, 1 or 2 blocks, made a right turn down a side street, and somehow, somewhere over in there, I think was home. So it would be interesting. I don't know exactly where this took place. I'm not terribly familiar with Moscow, Idaho. I've been there a couple times, but I'm not terribly familiar with the street layout. So it's just what I'm seeing in my mind. But it would be really interesting to know if where the murders took place, if it's not terribly far from a main street, like a little side street down and over. Because I do get this person made a connection with the driver and then was walking and walked quite a ways, but was able to walk and turn down the side street and then find, I think he followed or at least found the car, which was probably parked by then. So that's what I'm seeing. So all right. So I did ask a couple of questions. One was, who was behind the killing of the 4 university students? And I got the 9 of Pentacles. That's a really interesting card. And so that's a card of like abundance and, having a lot of money, or at least appearing that way. So it probably was not a like vagrant kind of person. It probably was somebody who was connected. Did the killer know any of the victims? I got the Page of Wands. Now, anytime there's a page, it's a messenger telling you there's more. And so I'm wondering if the killer knew them personally. There could be some information on that. There may have been more than just the connection that they had at the intersection, which I felt was kind of precipitated this whole thing in a kind of a weird twist. Was there only one killer involved? I get the Empress. That's a major arcana, so I do think it probably was the work of one person. What do we need to know? I have the Ten of Swords. That is a card of endings and something being over. And I know that right now, at least at the time of this recording, the whole town is on edge because there has not been a suspect named or anyone brought into custody, and people are rightfully concerned that they have somebody who, a quadruple murderer, is still on the loose, and it has the community rightfully upset and afraid. But with that Ten of Swords, this is over. This saga is over. So that maybe could give some peace of mind that this is going to be coming to an end. Okay. Will the killer be brought to justice? I got the Death card. So the Death card, major arcana. Yes, I do believe they will be brought to justice. It's a card of radical change and transformation. But interesting with the Death card, maybe they will get the actual death penalty. That's a possibility. I don't know Idaho's laws, but that's a possibility if they do have that on the table there. I did get something about a small axe. I did ask, as I said earlier, I asked to kind of see what happened, but not get too involved because I don't need that in my mind. But I did see, I felt like a small axe, like a small... I got like an axe type of instrument, but smaller. Was the killer at any social events with any of the victims? And that's before the murders took place. And that's when I saw the incident at the intersection. So I asked another set of questions. I reshuffled and asked again, why did the killer do what they did? And again, I got the Empress card. Now, the Empress card I got on the previous reading question, which was there only one person involved? Yes. Why did he do what he did? But to get that Empress card again, the Empress being the card of care, the card of the female, I do feel like the females were targeted. Now, there was one male that lived in the house and 3 females. It was a large house, several rooms that they were probably renting out as college students do. And so I did sense that, well, what we know from what happened in the news was that the last people home were 2 of the females. So that's what I think whoever this was, did follow the females. That was a target for sure. What was the motive? I got the 6 of Cups. That's a card of innocence. So that really, really interesting cards to get the Empress, the 6 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles on the next question. Who is the killer? What kind of person? So I'm getting kind of Empress, Queen of Pentacles. I'm getting like a female energy, innocence, either targeting that. Because I don't think that the killer was a female, but certainly aspects of targeting that is very, very prominent. What do we need to know about this person? The 3 of Cups. So the 3 of Cups is all about, let me see. Oh, I don't have that card out right now. It's a card of friendship. It's actually a happy card. So what do we need to know about this person? They're probably friends or gregarious. There's some type of friendly connection with it, possibly known by the victim. Okay. Will he be apprehended and brought to justice? Again, I asked that in the other reading. I just wanted to clarify. I got the Lovers card. So Major Arcana, yes, this person who did this will be brought to justice. And I think it will put an end to this saga, which was indicated by that Ten of Swords. Will he be found and brought to justice? Is this going to happen soon? I did get the Knight of Cups on that. So I do think that there will be a break in the case, possibly very soon. I don't think that this is going to be one of those unsolved things. It's going to come up, it's going to come out, and I think it's going to really shock the city of Moscow when they see who this person was. I get this person may have some type of influence in the community. Maybe he's somebody that's known, or somehow, I don't think it's just a vagrant or somebody like that. This person has connections, and it could really, really surprise some people when it all comes out. That's what I get for this. A really tragic event, and again, it will be interesting to see what comes out about the motive, because I'm getting that well-connected kind of feeling with it. So, all right, that's all I have for these two very tragic events. Hopefully, there can be some healing in the days coming forward. But that's all I have for these. Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.